you said yesterday. All right. We're going on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're good. We're live. We're good. We're live. We're live. Ladies and gentlemen, the trading campfire, a Melnick story. Pull up some marshmallows, some s'mores, and even a beer if you desire. We're going to talk. We're going to talk through Boeing, Amazon, and Tesla. A lot of exciting news there. I am Mark Melnick. This is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. I have so many great things to talk to you about today, including Boeing, Amazon, and Tesla, and what you need to know about these companies and what has happened recently. But first, by watching this video, you are agreeing to hold me, Mark Melnick, harmless, not liable for anything that you might hear, read, think, see, or say on this video. You must also agree to hold T3, also harmless and unliable to anything. If you do agree to that, you may continue watching this video. If not, you must exit immediately. Okay, so yesterday I was, I guess, talking up and defending Boeing. There's a lot of, headlines coming out about the company now. The CEO is commenting, Boeing's certification and implementation of the fix weeks ahead. Um, it's basically a drama story right now. And I wanted to go through that, and we're gonna go over my day first, and then I'm gonna go over that. And I need to show you like how we're in a very awkward trading environment right now. And there are a lot of traders out there who are looking at this market and they are not knowing what the heck is going on. And even though I've been very, very consistent in this environment. It's one of those situations where it's like, just because you're making money, don't downplay how easy it is at certain times when you execute the right strategies. And I want to just talk about our day, how we started off here. Very simple. Good morning, bandits. This is at 8:56 a.m. Eastern Standard, 34 minutes before the market opens. I'm looking to short Tesla on a downgrade. I'm looking to long Facebook on an upgrade. And I'm looking for potentially these names as the next ideas: Boeing, Roku, and Micron. Boeing long, of course, the name I was discussing in detail yesterday. So this is how my day started. Now, I just want to sort of take you through this because I think you guys need to know what like a professional trader goes through. So it started off this morning where I came in and I had Facebook puts the overnight with this little technical inverted hammer here. Again, nothing major. And Facebook actually got upgraded. So I actually, even though I was looking at Facebook for a long, I came in overnight with puts in a negative position. I had 10 puts. I paid like $1,250 for them. I ended up losing $750 on this gap up. Facebook got upgraded. You can't really predict that. That's just one of those situations where, people will say lucky or unlucky, whatever you want to call it. But I just went ahead about my day. So the first thing I do before anything starts, my day starts with a $750 loss. How many of you out there, how would your days usually go if you started off with a loss in the morning? Kind of bad, kind of toxic, kind of negative, right? I held it together. So the first name I focused in on after selling my Facebook for a loss is Tesla. And again, when I tell you I'm selling it for a loss, we're sharing it with you in the room in real time. All right, guys, I'm going to get rid of Facebook here. Okay, guys, all right, I'm out of Facebook. That's what it sounds like when we go ahead and we do these things, just so you know. So Tesla downgrade. I'm looking to do a one and done short on Tesla. Here's a 1 minute chart. And I'm literally pulling you through the day. So I start off with a 750 loss. I see this Tesla here with a red bar. Now, if you remember what we were saying on our latest one and done, the latest version, which is bang right there, we need the 1 minute bar to close red, We needed, this is an example on an upgraded name, but on a downgraded name, we need the first bar to close red, open versus close. So we actually got that. But what happened here is the breakout of the candle in the opposite direction already happened, even though the one and done short never occurred. So it was a no trade. It wasn't a win, it wasn't a loss, it was an ignore because a prior 1 minute candle didn't break down before this candle broke out. And of course, these details are very clearly explained. We use it as a long example where we say if the bottom of the first 1 minute bar breaks down, don't take this trade. On the flip side, on a downgraded name like Tesla, if the top of the 1 minute bar breaks down, don't take this trade. So what do I do immediately after that? I go ahead and I look at Facebook. Why would I go ahead and look at Facebook? I mean, most people don't even know what they focus on in the morning. They just choose a name randomly. They like the name, they like trading it, and they say, okay, I'll trade you today. Almost like as if it's like, somebody pulling you out and you're somebody who has like no food allergies. And you're like, yeah, I'll go eat there. Oh, you want sushi? I'll eat sushi. I'll eat pizza. I'll eat this. I'll eat that. And, it's sort of one of those things. You just choose whatever you're in the mood for and you pretend to yourself that it has no consequences, but it does. This is why it's very good that I'm focusing and actually showing you step for step what I actually did today. So next one I'm looking at is Facebook. Why? Because it is my second highest conviction name. Because I was watching Tesla and I was so focused in on that, with the 1 minute bar breaking out. So I'm like, okay, no trade. I'm not doing a single trade in it. I missed the Tesla one and done. And these calls went through the ceiling. Facebook, I mean, went through 176.74 to 177.57. A lot of the people crushed in the room. Good job by the bandits quickly switching over to that one. And they were able to just jump in, make their money on Facebook, and call it a day. And of course, Facebook, then eventually went a little higher afterwards, then lower, etc. But the one and done in Facebook, to be part of that huge green bar was just a beautiful thing, and they're able to catch it. So here's where I am. I'm at a $750 loss for my overnight in Facebook. I took puts, and just so we're clear, when I do take these positions, I spit them out there. Facebook puts 170 strike, paid $1.23. That was yesterday, April 3rd at 3:29 p.m. So there's no like surprise of where these positions are popping up from. It's not like surprise, I did it. And it's not one of those things at all. So I'm at a $750 loss. My highest conviction trade, which was Tesla short, didn't set up properly based on my methodology. And again, there's a video for this. It's a very spelled out methodology. And guess what? When I take conviction names 4 out of 10 or higher, it's 100% effective for me this year. And I spoke to a lot of other people in which it was also 100% effective this year while taking Newsbeat names with conviction 4 out of 10 or more. Now, again, Tesla was almost there. Tesla wasn't exactly a 4 out of 10. I have a very scientific way of rating these things. It was a 3.5 out of 10. And again, I have very strict standards. So I don't throw around eights and nines and eights and nines. This is like we're as critical as we can on these stocks because it's very important that we succeed and that we make money. So it's very important that we understand the stocks in which we could apply our methodology best. With that being said, I missed Tesla was a no trade. Facebook was a crusher. I missed it. I'm down 750 bucks. I'm looking at my charts and then I go over and I look at Boeing. Now, this is what happened in Boeing. Now, if you are reading it, I know a lot of you guys emailed me who watched the Newsbeat show. You guys were just absolutely excited and thrilled. Absolutely excited and thrilled when actually, watching Boeing go up. So I watched Boeing go up. I watched Boeing go up, and I see it climbing up and up and up and up. And I'm saying like, you can't chase this thing, right? It just keeps ripping and ripping higher and higher. And this is a 1 minute chart of Boeing. Just so we're clear, it went from 385 to 395 in 11 minutes. It went up 10 points in 11 minutes. It's averaging $1 a minute approximately. So just absolutely crazy, crazy, crazy move in Boeing. And then this is what happened. And this is where I drew something that made a lot of sense. So if you were, of course, watching from the other day, we gave you Boeing as our game plan name. And the Boeing trigger we gave you was, let's see, Boeing was right over here. I can show it to you. It was right over here. It was 394.83 right there by the high. So we were looking yesterday. It's on yesterday's Newsbeat show. We said watch 394.83 because it's an A plus trigger and you're guaranteed to have a volume spike through that level. So this is where it hit me. When you actually trade options, here's the beautiful thing about being able to read the robots, and I never think I clearly described it this way. One of the best parts of actually reading where the robots will do volume is, can any of you guys guess? Can any of you guys guess what the best part about knowing where volume is going to come ahead of time and actually using my science and my methodology to do it? You could predict where there's going to be volume in the stock before it actually happens accurately, like every time. It's sick. So when you buy options, there's something called there's implied volatility. I forgot which Greek word that is, but basically, the more volatile your stock, the more it could go up. If your stock quickly goes up a dollar and then down a dollar really quick in a matter of a minute, your options are going to go up in value because the implied volatility increased. So what I did in Boeing was actually very slick. What I did here is I saw it. Here's a 1 minute chart. I saw it going right to 394.83, and as you can see, you put in an extremely high elevated volume bar right there at 940, which was higher than every other bar with the exception of the first 1 minute bar, which shot the stock up. Here, I don't want my face to cover it. Sorry. You see this 1 minute bar right here? How it exploded up. This is the 1 minute bar that actually went through 394.83. So what I did was I bought in before 394.83. That is how we do our methodology on triggers. We don't like to buy the triggers. We want the robots to buy the triggers. We want to be involved in the name before it happens. So the whole key here was to buy options before 394.83. So Boeing is going through day highs here. I go ahead and I pick up some $400 calls real quick at $1.30. $400 calls expiring tomorrow at $1.30. 394.89. Excuse me, 394.83 kicks in right over here on this 1 minute candle. It explodes in volume. The stock spikes up to 395.88. Now I want you to think of it like this. That stock at that moment spiked up from 83 cents to 88 cents. It went up $1.05. It went up $1.05 from the trigger level. I was in a little earlier, so maybe I was up $1.30, $1.40. I literally bought it at day highs as it was running towards that trigger, knowing that it was going to explode up and give me a quick chance to sell and then get out of my position. So my calls, my $400 calls that I bought at $1.30, went up to $1.08 in the $1.80s. Now I don't know if you understand the importance of that as an option trader. So for example, if you bought 20 of them, and that would be a $2,600 outlay of cash. You're risking, I mean, think about when you buy 1,000 shares of a $10 stock, you have $10,000 on the line. So this is Boeing, just a sub $400 stock, and you're actually buying 2,000 shares worth of Boeing potentially for $1.30. The right to buy 2,000 shares at 400 bucks, and you're paying $1.30 for that privilege. So what happens? I bought there. The stock never even got to $400. Got close. It didn't get there. It spiked up right over here from 394.83 to 395.88, and I was able to dump all my calls in the $1.70 to $1.80 range. I made 40% of my money before I could blink. 40% of my money before I could blink. That's my day. And when you're dealing with a Boeing, there's as many options as you want. You want one, you want 5, 10, 20, 200, 500, 1,000, 2,000, more. There's as much Boeing as you could as your heart desires. There's no waiting in line. There's no uptick rules. There's no downtick rules. You buy in right away. Because the volume came in off of our A plus trigger here, the level I gave you on yesterday's Newsbeat show for Boeing long, the stock exploded. The options exploded. And even after that, later in the day, Boeing got as high as $397, a little over $397 right here. The $400 calls at that time are trading at $1.10. All the way earlier when the stock was lower, earlier in the day. Granted, there was time value. I get that. because the implied volatility spiked up so high on the A plus trigger, your options exploded in value. So even though Boeing went up a dollar five from my trigger, maybe a dollar 30, dollar 40 from where I purchased the call before the trigger happened, my calls went up 40%, more than 40%. I was up 40% of my money on that little pop. And you know what I said? I saw my P&L switch from red to solid green, and I was like, bye. There was no fear of missing out. There was no pissed off that my Tesla trade I was looking to buy puts in didn't follow the parameters in which I set out for it. There was nothing even there's no bias. There's no bias in my trades. I come in the morning with failing Facebook puts, and the first thing I'm telling you in the morning is I'm looking to buy it. It's my second highest conviction idea long the opposite way. And that's how you really have to think about trading. It's never personal. Most people would be too disgusted to do that. But I get these emails every night. Maybe I should start sharing them with you guys more often. Check out this email. Check out this email. We got it. I got it actually in the morning at 9:44 a.m. and then we were talking a little later. He said, "Member of our room, hello Mark. Overcame my let's see if I could zoom in. Hello Mark. Overcame my toxicity this morning. Sold Facebook at the open, just like I did, went long Facebook, went long Boeing, took a $2,500 loss in Facebook into a $2,800 win in 4 minutes. In my wildest dreams, I could never had been able to do this. Thank you. All the best, gentlemen." So I reply, I'm like, wow, nice. I love these emails. And then he's asking me, "Hello, Mark. Just wondering if I missed your call. Thank you. Not sure. I'll try again." Which probably tells you a whole nother story about what it is to be a Newsbeat member. I mean, when I really mean that, we reach out to you and try to help you. And what we do here in this room is so unique to any other room out there. I mean, how many times did your trading guru call you, you know, when they're, not asking for you to give credit card numbers to a salesperson? How often does that actually happen to you? How often is somebody calling you just to help you even after you paid for your service? I mean, this is the type of stuff that happens in the Newsbeat live room, and I wasn't even planning on talking about that, but I realized that when I copied it, that he said that he missed my call when I called him. So, but here's the main point of the email. Overcame my toxicity, sold Facebook, went long. He flipped $5,300 positive. But you want to know the key is here? He bought Facebook. That is the key to me. Why? Because he lost money. And that was the hard part. That was the hard part. Losing money in Facebook and buying it this morning. That was the hard part. And he did it. And he crushed it. And he turned a disgusting red day into a beautiful green one. So I think it's very interesting to hear the stories from people in the room and the things that they did to go through the day. Because look, here's the deal. Like I don't really mind anybody you might ask. You could ask absolutely, anyone, and like, yeah, I'm consistently making money in this market. I am very consistently making money. But it doesn't mean it's easy, doesn't mean it's hard, doesn't mean it's medium. It's just how you apply and adapt to the market. And if you're able to just cycle through like we do and just keep doing smart ideas, like all I needed was one trade and my day was good. For the gentleman who wrote the email, two trades. He bought Facebook and he bought Boeing, two names that were right on our list. We don't vomit 100 names at you. We are very, very precise. This is the one you could go heaviest in. This is the one you could go second heaviest in. And here are the three that you could go lighter in. Not only that, we rate the trades. We rate the trades right here. So what does a 1 to 10 mean? It means I'm doing this much dollars in options. What does a 3 mean? It means I'm doing this much dollars in options and this much dollar in options. Not only that, it also equates to shares, and this is how many shares I could do on one of these things, and factors that change it, and option spreads, and generalizations. If I had a $10,000 account, how would I apply this? So, like again, we have gone above and beyond just to make sure that everybody, no matter your account size, can garner value and, more importantly, cure yourself from the psychological toxicity. Believe me, if you make money every day as a trader, it doesn't even matter how much money. It doesn't. And most traders will say there's so much garbage out there saying like you need to have like these really, really big hits. But here's the thing, you can have a big hit on a very small move. I showed you a dollar move that gave me back 40% of my money. You throw $10,000 at that trade, you're making 4 grand. You throw, 20,000 at the trade, you're making 8 grand. You throw 50,000 at the trade, you're making 20 grand. There's nothing wrong with a little dollar move in Boeing. You don't have to catch these astronomical moves. You don't have to watch your winners turn into losers in order to be a successful trader in this environment. You just have to limit what you are doing. And if you are following something that is statistically viable, if you are following the rules that we laid out for you, that we know works in this current environment, these are not old parameters. This is not me showing you what candlesticks means, which is, again, one of the biggest jokes I've ever seen on Wall Street because it's just simply inconsistent. And this is something that is actually consistent. This is something that, when exercised properly, when mastered properly, you're making money consistently, you're limiting your losers, and you're making way more when you're right than when you're wrong. And if you are doing what we are doing here correctly, like so many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Newsbeat Live members, you too can do that. And I'm never going to give up on you. I will be there on the phone. After this is done, I am calling up, the gentleman in the emails, and there's other emails, and I'm going to sit here on the phone, and I am going to make sure that I give everybody as much of myself as possible to ensure your success. Tell me how you really feel, Mr. Melnick. How about tomorrow's levels today? Here are tomorrow's algo levels. These levels don't always hit, but when they do, I tend to have an easy time buying stock or going long calls at the support level or below. When the resistance level hits, I tend to make money going short or buying puts at these levels. These levels don't always hit. In fact, they usually don't. But when they do, the opportunity is great. And we actually, when they do get close to hitting these levels, we actually tweet it out every day. So you get like these little cute price alerts in real time when they happen. I mean, really, really great stuff. So you do get all that and more. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, um, hmm, should I go over what yeah. Oh, I promised to go over Boeing, Amazon, and Tesla, what you needed to know, right? Let's do that. Okay. So, Boeing. Let's talk about Boeing here real quickly and what's happening with Boeing. So you guys have heard about the Ethiopian crashes and whatnot, and the errors and the criticisms. Boeing says they're going to carefully review the Ethiopian report. Not only that, the CEO says certification and implementation of the 737 MAX fix is in weeks ahead. So they're already coming out with a solution for the matter. They're already, definitely putting a plug in the hole of the boat to, so it doesn't sink. They're already doing this. Now, again, I know I talked a lot about Boeing yesterday. I guess I incorrectly predicted the analysts coming out and defending it. I still think they're going to end up doing it. But this is what Boeing ended up doing today. Just ended up being an absolutely phenomenal bull flag. Definitely loved what was happening with it. And it just ended up, working out well and saving a lot of our, days and making us a lot of money. And at this point in Boeing, I do want to mention you do have a little bit of a 50 moving average overhead. Doesn't really scare me. It doesn't really scare me. At this point in Boeing, I see support tomorrow by 393.33. Hopefully it has a lot of volume. Hopefully someone comes out and you know talks about this stock because I do think this stock is still undervalued. I know it's trading significantly higher since I called the bottom at the moment, And just looking at this name here, um, I really feel that this stock is going to climb up back over $400, and there's still a lot of opportunity to make money in it. Let's talk about Amazon real quick. So if you didn't hear, Mackenzie Bezos, uh, Jeff Bezos's estranged ex-wife, is basically divorcing, settling the divorce in a way that shareholders like. So Jeff Bezos is going to keep 75% of the couple's Amazon stock after finalizing the divorce. She grants him 75% of the Amazon stock along with voting control of her shares. She also says she's going to give her interest in the Washington Post and the Blue Origin Aerospace Company. The settlement would make her among the five richest women in the world. Her ex will remain the world's richest person. Ha! So, how many people could claim they're the world's richest person after a divorce? Jeff Bezos can. $35.6 billion. Now, why is this an important story? It's an important story because there was a big overhang on Amazon shares, basically because people had no idea what was going to happen with the company. This definitely relieves an overhang. People want Jeff Bezos running the company. You can't say the company run by the world's richest man. You can't say he's doing a bad job if he's the world's richest man, running this company. I mean, he's obviously doing something right, and the only thing that could have thrown sort of a cog in the spokes of the tire would be this suit. So basically, it's turning into basically Jeff Bezos' wife is saying, "Look, I have enough money and I have so much Amazon shares that if things go crazy with these Amazon shares, they could potentially drop in value. I want everyone to know that you have all voting control of my shares. And knowing who you are, I'm sure you're going to do the best job you can with this company." So, from the shareholder perspective, that definitely relieves an overhang. Next, I definitely want to talk about Tesla a little here. So we were watching it earlier today. It was the name I was looking to short, and I ended up not doing a single trade in it. Judge warns Elon Musk to proceed cautiously with his tweeting. Hmm, interesting. Um, he also says Musk gets 2 weeks to settle spat with the SEC. So basically, um, the SEC is not expected to ask Elon Musk to actually leave. Um, so I think that's a negative thing for Tesla. I do not believe Elon Musk is suited to run the company. Now, I know what you're going to say. I love Elon. I have nothing against the dude. I love the dude. I think what he did was absolutely incredible. But if it's not so obvious that this dude needs to step aside, let somebody knows, just because you're a super genius doesn't mean you know how to run a multi-billion dollar company. I'm sorry. Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world, but nobody ever said he was the smartest man in the world because I don't think anybody out here would believe it, including himself. It's a different breed of animal to run a company and to bring innovation to the company. He should be able to control major decisions and whatnot, but when it comes to day-to-day operation and handling, public, I don't know, public, the quench of the public that has the dryness of the throat of the public that needs to be quenched, I guess is what I'm trying to say. He should really step aside and let somebody who knows what the heck they're doing do their job. Because Elon Musk is just simply he is just simply not a person who you really want running the company. And the fact that he brought a company that can't make a dollar if their life depended on it shows you how what how amazing what he did was. I mean, what Elon Musk is doing is Elon Musk, it's funny. Do you remember Yahoo back in the day? Do you remember all these internet companies, the dot-com boom? Do you remember going back to the dot-com boom? And what did you see during the dot-com boom? What happened? What happened? All these companies were losing money. Most of them failed, and a few of them were able to push through. Elon Musk and Tesla reminds me of an old school internet company. And don't tell me how they have a real physical product and they lose money for every car they sell. So when he's going out tweeting stuff on Ambien, when he's smoking a joint on the Joe Rogan show, when he is, you know, again, I am so impressed with how far he's brought this company, but I can't help to feel that he is the wrong person to be. I don't even want to say the face. He could be the face of the company. He's the wrong person to run the CEO slash president role of Tesla. It's like the Snapchat founders. I put a $0 target on Snapchat. I put a $0 target on Lyft, the recent IPO. I put a $0 target. Why? Because I remember people asking me about this one. I'm like, get rid of your shares immediately. It's an app that connects you with a cab driver that's getting underpaid driving his own vehicle. Yeah, this is the wave of the future for sure. I do not believe in Lyft. Snapchat, before they IPO'd, I put a $0 target on Snapchat. I actually made money on the calls recently. That's a whole nother story. But I mean, I literally put a $0 target because just because two nerds make an app doesn't mean they know how to run a multi-billion-dollar company. Maybe they deserve to be billionaires. Doesn't mean you know how to run a billion-dollar public company. Give me a break. So whether it's Snapchat or whether it's Lyft, whether it's Tesla, I will tell you right now, Tesla is actually in the worst spot here. They need to make a car that I'll say it again. If Tesla is able to make a $20,000 to $25,000 vehicle, electric vehicle, and make money off it, they would get to that next level. But as long as you have these extremely expensive vehicles, and yeah, it increases the sex appeal of the car because wealthier people will want to buy it. It's a form of status symbol. It lets you pretend that you care about the environment because you're polluting electromagnetic radiation frequencies as opposed to carbon fuel emissions. Look, give me a break. Just give me a break, Elon Musk. Step aside. You're already looking. I think this company is going to implode upon itself unless Elon Musk really steps aside. So let him run the board, step aside. And that's what we're covering today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do, thumbs up, share it, like it, comment on it. I'll be always happy to read what you guys think of this content. And if you like it, just let me know. And I'd love to give you more. There's a reason, ladies and gentlemen, why Elon Musk swears that the Newsbeat Live Room is the largest, fastest growing trading room in the nation, and it's not because he smoked that joint on the Joe Rogan show. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Newsbeat Live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.